Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Leadership Center. I'm Dr. Tony Soldano. Our motto here is the pursuit of excellence. Our desire is that you will grow and realize your maximum impact and potential as it comes to leadership. This is part 2 of something that I called moving the needle of your influence forward. In other words, we are trying to gain traction. We're trying to progress forward. And when we think about a dashboard of a vehicle, we see that needle of the speedometer move forward and get faster. And so how do we do that? How do we move our influence as leaders? And remember, we borrowed the quote from John Maxwell. He said that leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. So now that we've laid that groundwork, this is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I would encourage you. We talked about 4 principles. I'm going to cover 5 through 8 in part 2. So we're leaders, we're influencers. What are the principles? Here's number 5. Number 5 is that influencers take responsibility, particularly when things go wrong. They know how to be accountable. They're not shifting blame. They're not pointing fingers. They're not creating a culture where blame is distributed and who can fall upon the sword. We see this a lot in political circles. Who's going to take the blame? Who's at fault? Listen, if you have an organization that is based on fault finding, your organization is not going to last very long. So my friends, listen, if you're the leader, ultimately, you know the buck stops with you. Take responsibility. Take accountability. By the way, I'm not suggesting that we don't have correction and that we don't deal with people and address conflicts and mistakes that have been made. But what I'm saying is that many times leaders want to wear this Teflon cape where nothing sticks to them. Hey, my friends, there is nothing more powerful than leaders that say, hey, mea culpa. I'll take responsibility for that. I'll fall on the sword for that. We're not going to have a culture of blame, but rather of high emotional intelligence and growth. Number six, leaders that want to move this needle of influence forward, they are very focused. They are very focused on not only their direction and their vision, but their goals, their objectives, what they want to accomplish personally, what they want the organization to accomplish, what they want their people to accomplish. We have heard forever that some tout that they are I'm a multitasker. And we know that recently that has been debunked. It just doesn't work. Multitasking doesn't work. You're never as productive if your time and your energy and your focus is in all sorts of directions. So focus on the main thing. What is the main thing? I like to call them the rocks. What are the rocks? What are the top 3 to 5 rocks of your organization? Focus on those things. Others call it the value of the organization. Where are we going to place our energy, our emotional capital, our people, our resources? What's going to thrust us forward? What are we going to carry? Remember, rocks are the heavy things. They're the objectives. This is where we're going to spend all our time. This is where we're just going to focus on this, and it's absolutely up to the leader to make sure that people are focused on these rocks, on these main objectives. But it starts with you. It starts with you as the leader. So forget the multitasking, forget about being involved in so many things and having your hands in so many places. No. The power of focus. The power of focus. Find the things that are important and focus on those things. Number seven, listen, age doesn't matter. I don't know how to frame this for you. Age does not matter. If you are going to be an impactful, effective leader, look beyond things like age. Don't look at things that are going to set you back and hold you back and convince yourself that, well, other people in the organization are older than I am. They have more experience than I do. They've been around longer than I have been. Maybe they have more knowledge than I have. It doesn't matter. Listen, leadership, influence can overcome all those things if you will apply these principles. So it's not about your age. It's not even about your experience and your knowledge. And by the way, I think you should get all those things. I'm not debunking that as not being important. But my friends, listen, you can overcome it by being a leader that knows how to influence his people. So, what am I saying here in number 7? Leaders know how to overcome barriers that have held others back. Here's my final one. My final one, number 8. Number 8 is that influencers or leaders know how to leverage their personal stories. My friends, who you are matters, where you have come from, the things that you have gone through, the victories and the failures, the weaknesses and the strengths, the things that have brought you to the place where you are now, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you have been promoted, whether you're a brand new supervisor, whether you're not quite sure on how to lead and what to do. This matters. Your story, who you are, where you've come from, the accumulation of decisions and wise things that you have done, the things that have made you who you are today, your reputation, your character, your integrity. All of this is about who you are, what you believe in, and what you represent as a leader. That's your leverage. That's powerful. People love to hear personal stories. So let's recap. This is part 2. We're talking about moving the needle of your influence as a leader forward. We're moving the needle. We want to gain acceleration. Here's what we talked about, that leaders take responsibility. They know how to say it's mea culpa. They know how to fall on the sword. And by the way, my friends, sometimes it means protecting people. Maybe you have younger leaders and up-and-coming leaders that need your protection so that you create an environment of safety. Take responsibility. Take the blame when it's necessary. Learn to focus. Learn to be very clear regarding where you're going, what you want done, what you're going to spend your personal time on. What are the top 3 to 5 rocks personally from your leadership and that you want to spend your time on, but you want your organization to spend time on? So people aren't wondering, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Should I be here? No, that's your role. You're a focused individual, and you know how to focus others. You overcome barriers such as age, experience, inexperience, lack of time within your organization, ministry, whatever it may be. Influencers overcome, and then finally leverage your personal story. I'm telling you, your personal story is powerful. It speaks about you. It attracts people to you. It is endearing. And remember, I want to leave you with this. Don't just talk about your highs and your victories, but let people know about your pitfalls. Let people know about the mistakes that you made and the things that you would not do again. And even some of the misses that maybe you would have gone back, and if you'd retraced your steps and said, hey, maybe I would have done this, or maybe I would have made that decision. Share those things. Your personal story matters. Well, my friends, listen, we want you to move that needle of influence, because influence is leadership and leadership is influence. We hope that this has been beneficial to you. Please like, share, comments, send us your questions and any topics that you would like us to cover in the future. I'm Dr. Tony Soldano, and this has been the Leadership Center.